Welcome, everybody. I am EvilMog, and this talk at one point had slides. Demo gods screwed me, so this is now 100% live demo. I'm going to attempt the demo gods because why not? Because I don't really care. Well, actually, I do, but I spent 11 hours cracking a safe yesterday. So, why did I do this? First a bit about me. I'm EvilMog, Dustin Heywood. I'm a member of Team Hashcat, Bishop of the Church of Wi-Fi, Shenanigator-in-Chief, and I collect black badges. I'm black badge to Sky.con, rest in peace, DerbyCon, rest in peace, DEF CON, ThoughtCon, and now CypherCon after many grueling hours in front of this very challenge safe. I was not a safe cracker until November. I got bored. I figured, you know what, this can't be that hard. I'm going to figure out why. If Carfukar can do it, I can do it. Yeah, that was the first mistake. I decided to order about $3,000 worth of cracking hardware from... fantastic. We lost... There we go. Is this thing still outputting? Aha. Cool. See, demo technology, IT is hard, all the rest of that stuff, that's all right. So, I decided to order some hardware and some software off of a German locksmithing company called Zytec. They make a tool called the Safe Manipulator. Now, for those of you who don't know about safe manipulation is basically feeling the difference between contact points. Now, the way a lock is made up is you have this thing called a nose. The nose is basically what's attached to a lever, and that's what dives into the cam drive that engages the lock. So with a safe, you basically have 3 to 4 gates.
Attention staff and all guests in the Wisconsin Center. Will the owner of a Penske truck with an Indiana plate 28634443.
Bingo.
A Penske truck with an Indiana plate 28634443. Your truck needs to be moved immediately off the dock or it will be towed in 15 minutes.
Also, I've got a bingo. Sorry, this is I should also specify opinions expressed in this talk are mine and mine alone. My employer has no responsibility for any content within herein, therefore that finger was not on company dime. I paid my own way here because this is just cool. Anyways, so what you're doing with a safe crack is you're basically manipulating wheels into location to identify when there's differences in that contact point. The nose dips just a little bit if you're getting a wheel indication, but as everyone who saw me cracking safes yesterday, it's literally an 11-hour slog. And it is harder trying to crack a safe in a lab, or here, than it is in a lab. Because you got people walking up going, hey, what you doing? How's the progress? I spent most of yesterday teaching people to crack safes rather than actually safe cracking. Now, this software saved my bacon because when you lose track of where you're on the wheel locations, these little red dots indicate where the gates line up. So I'm going to spin this guy, and you'll see this thing go. So the yellow dots represent where the wheel cams are. So this by default is, you only see a bunch of little wheels, and then you see these little fiddly contact points after I load this up. Open... Final, yeah, you can see my naming convention. It's kind of funny, you know, Cypher 11, here we go, Final 2. So what we're looking at on here is individual mappings on where these contact points are. And then advanced graph interpretation on wheel 3, wheel 2, wheel 1. Now, I had to delete a bunch of contacts because traditionally in a Sargent and Greenleaf lock, wheel number 3 indicates first, which it did. Wheel number 2 indicates second, which is this little dot right here. And then wheel number 1. Unfortunately, in my case, it didn't indicate that way. I spent 7 hours going down a rabbit hole that proved to be completely and utterly fruitless. I mapped the entire drive cam only to go throw up in a matter of hairy-carry, oh my god, I can't believe I just wasted 7 hours. I restarted, remapped, I grabbed myself a Red Bull, did some woosah, relaxed, recentered my mind, and went back to work on wheel number 1. Thank God that thing popped in the first 20 minutes because I was sweating bullets this morning. Like, this was the most YOLO safe cracking attempt I've ever tried. So advice for you, for anyone who wants to do this at home, go buy a practice safe, go buy some graph paper, and be prepared to waste 20 hours a week sitting there while you're watching Big Bang Theory and your spouse getting very, very angry at you because you're skipping date nights to go play with safe dials. I have over 250 hours since November of safe spinning time put into this just to practice. And the worst part is this tool doesn't work on the practice safe dials because they're at an angle of about 15 degrees. And they fall over and getting the mount up doesn't work. And in fact, the way this tool works is you have a rotary encoder attached to a mag mount arm. The mag mount arm doesn't mount to an acrylic safe. We had to get creative. Thank Mike for those door hinges that were on there and all the additional hardware meant to prevent you guys from taking this thing apart. I would never have cracked this. Like, I'd have been coming up going, hey, here's how I attempted this and here's how I failed. So basically, when you are cracking a safe, you need to be able to measure to within 1/8 of an increment of a dial. So I say 1/8 of an increment, a safe dial has 100 little numbers around there. You have to measure 1/8 of one of those dial increments while you're fiddling for those contact points. And it was made worse because this lock is not a straight off the shelf, fresh from the store lock. It's an eBay special that's been disassembled a few times. The cam orders are in different orders, the machining differences, it's kind of spongy. It is not your ideal training lock, which made it just that much harder. Like, I wish I could have 3 months of my life back. But it's doable. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of time, practice, and very, very light pressure. So the good news is next year I'll be helping run the Safe Cracking Village. So I'll be teaching you all how to crack this and tormenting you from now on. This is the second rule I've learned from CypherCon. Do something great, you get called back to do it again, and all of a sudden Mike owns you for the rest of your natural life. Thanks, Monster. We all love you. So basically what we do is we rotate this so you can see how things track. Now, the nice part about this is when you're doing safe dial manipulation, it becomes kind of fiddly because you'll say park a wheel and you'll be messing with wheel locations, like as I pop this around, and then you pop something back and you're going to go for a feel and you go back to where the contact points are. So the nice part about this is I can like feel where my contact points are. It also indicates when I'm in the zone. So when I was doing this, I had to do 6 to 7 measurements per contact point times a couple hundred rotations, and then redoing them when you mess them up. So I've been literally spinning this dial, and I'd switch over to this hand, spin this dial, then back to this hand, spin this dial. It is the most painful and rewarding experience. I would rather do a TyMkrs badge again than try this again. And their badges are hard, like the most ridiculous. So I'm going to do a sample dialing. I'm going to put this mic down so I can do so because it's hard to touch a mic while you're doing this. Also, there's a book here. Fingertip Safe Cracking by the Numbers. If you want to learn how to crack a safe, this is the book you buy. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get any commissions based off them. I've bought hundreds of dollars of the books trying to learn how to do this, and they're all dry technical manuals that make me eyes just bleed. This has nice color-coded diagrams, step-by-step guides. Persistence and consistency are key. So when you first start dialing a safe, your contact point readings are going to be slightly off. And until you get like the very precise touch, you're going to get nowhere. The other annoying part is different locks have different manipulation techniques. So when we first start picking a lock, we start scanning into your two increment in 2 increments. The big red CDL locks that we practice with need it in 2.5. The Lagarde 3300s, they run on 2. Every lock speaks a different thing, and it's like you communicate with the lock. You know the lock better than it knows itself sometimes, and it will frustrate you to no absolute end. I strongly recommend a far more relaxing hobby like, I don't know, going to a metal concert or, beating your head against a wall repeatedly because it's far more therapeutic. But when you get in the zone, it works. See, I'm sorry if this turns into a rant on why safe cracking sucks, but I'm a little salty and bitter today, as you can tell. And you will be too. It's okay. So I'm going to put this mic down. I'm going to do a demo. Bear with me. I still cheat using this because even though I've got all the visual tools, sometimes it's just handy having a safe rotation formula because these things are finicky. And if you mess them up, well, it gets annoying. So watch my little screen and I'll talk through this as I go. For my demo, where am I here? We're going to rotate left 4 times. Right in the language, we're rotating. So all these yellow parts are lined up. And now I'm going to get you onto number 88, aka wheel number 1. We are then going to go back once, twice, and there we go. Okay, so now we're going to rotate you into number 32. We are then going to rotate you to number 16. And then we rotate all the way around to the right. And I miss the click. Even with the tool, I miss the click every time. So we do this again. Rotate 4 times. It's a lot of this. Sorry, those that missed out, I missed the dialing sequence by about half a number on this, even though this thing's got a 2-number slop, so I have to redial it because safe dialing sucks. And that's what a lot of the safe cracking is. It's you miss a number, you reattempt, you try again, and it gets kind of annoying. So we'll redial this, and I'll show you what it looks like for a normal open. So, left. You swing to 88. I'm going to rotate once, past 88. Rotate twice, past 88. Now we're going to stop at 32, or sorry, yeah, 32. We're then going to start rotating back, 32 once. We're going to stop at 16. Then we're going to rotate back. Did I rotate? Oh, son of a, this might not work. Yep. Now the nice part is you can do visual dialing. That's what I'm doing right now. Dial him again. Also, yes, I know I'm tempting the demo gods, and that is totally okay. I've angered them before, and I'm not afraid to anger them again. Or as I say, do as I say, and not as I do. 32. Stop 32. This is what you get when you don't plug your laptop in. And I know I'm off again on this, but I know why. Wheel 3 is in the wrong position. 16, I want you in. There, aha. E my, nope. See what I mean? Opening a dial is hard. All right, left to 88. Left to 88. There. Right. radiate twice. And then we are going to stop on 32. 1 sec. Notch you back in because you look too far. Back, we're going to there. Now we're getting it correctly. I missed it. 1 sec. I know this is as boring as watching paint dry. I apologize, but it's fun. All right. Left twice till it stops on 16. 1. Now, assuming that I did this right, I missed the nose again. All right. So there you go. The problem I have with this is I screwed up when I did my safe completion. In my moment of triumph, I peeled off the little drive encoder off the safe dial, and I super glued it back on. And so now it's off-centered by about 0.5 millimeter. So my old uncoupling is not attaching correctly to this safe, guaranteeing an automatic demo fail. But you know what? That's all right. This whole experience was about learning how I failed. Because as a pen tester, I fail 1,000 times a day. I succeed once, and all it takes is once. Same deal with a safe. You will fail thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times. And then you'll get a little bit of success. That success will breed more success. You'll get an indication. All of a sudden, things start popping like dominoes, and then that door opens, and it's like the ultimate rush, like your first shell you've ever popped. It's addictive. It's what gets me doing up on this. So I encourage you to do it, even though I've been bashing this entire time. I do not recommend dropping as much money as I did on hardware. You can do it with graph paper, manipulation aids. I'm going to teach all of that next year. I also don't recommend starting with an old janky lock that's been beat to hell. Start with a nice, well-lubed, easy-to-work-with lock, a good cutaway. Work your way up. Start with a group 3, then move to a group 2. And for Cthulhu's sake, don't touch a group 2M or group 2R. Those things are just... It's like a jump in difficulty from popping a basic shell with MS-17010 to reverse engineering assembly blind while riding a horse. Terrible description, but that's basically what it's like. It's just, it is maddening. It's a lot of data, a lot of processing, and you know what? Next time I'm just going to pay a locksmith to open my locks for me because it is not worth it. Most locksmiths do not manipulate open a safe. They'll just drill it. And the way you can defeat the safe is there is a little tiny change keyhole right on the back there. It's currently covered in electrical tape. What you can do, and this is how someone won it a couple of years ago, was the change keyhole wasn't covered. And so they scoped the change keyhole with their phone, they manipulated the dials, watched the disc packs lined up, and lo, it popped. Year before that, year after that, Carfukar used a iPhone mic from his headset and listened for the click-clack of the gates. That method sort of works and is also very error-prone. Honestly, more touch, and lots of graph paper. So with that, I mean, this is a super quick talk, and only 20 minutes in, so I apologize for all the demo fails, but that's all right. Does anybody have any questions before I sit here playing with this lock till it pops open? Yes. Oh, yeah. The name of the book is Fingertip Safe Cracking by the Numbers by Sean C. Evans. So that again for the room was Fingertip Safe Cracking by the Numbers by Sean C. Evans. That has been my Bible through this entire experience. You could probably get some pretty good manipulation aids for about $300 from Lockmasters as well as MBA USA. You do need a locksmith license to get access to some of these tools, but you're all hackers. You can figure out process. I'm licensed in the province of Alberta. Getting this stuff through TSA was interesting. I don't think I'd ever do that again. Oh, dude, they had some questions for me. It took 3 supervisors and a bomb tech to clear me to board the airplane. Yeah, I do not recommend that route. All right, let's try this one more time now that I'm calm to go pop this safe, see what happens. Where was I again? Page 20. Oh, yeah. So for those of you following along at home, the book I keep referencing, page 22, has the normal safe dialing sequence, because even though I've opened these every time, it is not muscle memory yet. Yet. The day it becomes this, please put me out of my misery. I'll go make surfboards for a living in some beach in Mexico. All right. 88. Past 88. 2 passes on 88. We stop at 32. Turn left past 32. We stop it at 16. Is that lined up? Oh, that is lined up. Perfect. Now we turn right. We feel for the bolt to engage. Bingo. Now I'm going to pull this guy off. And come on. And you noticed I barely looked at the dial for all of this. The nice part about this tool is I was barely looking at the dial the entire time. I was staring at a computer screen. Everyone thought, hey, is the computer doing the sensing for you? I'm like, no, that's just touch. It's just the eye strain you put up with. So if anyone here over 40 know they're starting to deal with the bifocals and the distance vision issues, this makes it that much worse. This is not an old person's game. This is a young person's game. I mean, you need the wisdom of being old with the eyesight of a 20-year-old, which none of us have. I mean, I think we got some 20-year-olds roaming around. They might, but I don't. I sure as heck don't. But that's it. Thank you all very much for coming to my very abridged safe demo talk. Yes, I got the red lifetime badge, and I'll teach you all to do this next year, assuming I keep my sanity, which is a big if. So follow me on Twitter, evil_mog. Thank you very much.